Well, bit of a late start today. I'm going to get some gas right now for the Plymouth because it is completely out. And then I'll be able to move the car in and out. And I'm going to start working on the interior, pulling all the stuff out of the trunk and cleaning it out. And then probably pull the headliner down, pull the seats out, stuff like that. That way I can get a good look at the floors and see how big of panels I gotta get or gotta make or whatever I gotta do so I can fix the floors on that thing. So let's go grab some gas and then head over to the shop. Alright, we're back at the shop now. Got some fuel. Let me top off the little gas tank here. That'll do it. I don't want to put too much in there because it's probably just going to evaporate. Reinstall our fuel line here. Get this door open. Might take a bit of cranking because I ran it completely out of gas, so the carburetor's empty. Key on. Make sure we press the clutch in. One of these days it'll get fuel in the carburetor. There we go. Thing's camming out over here. Just barely running. I need to put a filter back on the carburetor because I think it's just getting way too much air. There we go. This thing starts up pretty easy and I'm surprised it idles as well as it does. So I'm gonna get this thing backed up just a little bit and I'm gonna start trying to clean out this interior. And there it died. Let's get this thing backed up real quick. Found a bunch of random little tools and a bunch of paperwork with the registration and stuff in the glove box. Get all this stuff out of the car. Looks like we got some fresh tags for the year 2000. Get the rest of this stuff out of here. And it looks like someone put some type of aftermarket seat belts in this thing because they don't have them from the factory, I believe, being a 53. I don't think this is factory. Get this back door open here. See all this window felt and trim is just trash. There's a door panel for the rear that's all ruined. See, this back seat has like a cover on it. The back seat just sits there. I don't think it bolts down to nothing. Or someone already had it apart. carpet. Some old rags, a bunch of cobwebs, steering wheel lock. There's all kinds of stuff in this car. Get Jack out of my way. This stuff's nasty. Just making dust when I pull it apart. Some more tools. Some super rusty tools. And a Diet Coke from, it's like 97. I've never seen that can before in my life. It looks like they just took their seat belts and just bolted them straight to the floor, because those ones are a lot closer together than those ones are over there. So that tells me they're probably not factory and they're mismatched, and they probably had to cut some holes in the seat to put them through there. Well, looks like this back seat moves out fairly easy. I think it might be already unbolted, so I don't think it's supposed to just slide in there like that. It just slides that easy. So let me try to pull it out real fast. There's the outside. That's crazy. Up here seems pretty solid. The tunnel seems pretty solid. It's just these low spots. So it looks like there was a bunch of water that got in here and just sat. The rockers don't seem terrible down here. This is all just paint and sound deadening stuff flaking off. Just the center sections on the floors. As for the seat, the frame itself is all there and it seems pretty solid. All the springs are still there. I don't know if this foam was supposed to be covering the entire inside, but it's not there. But it looks like this is a cover someone put on top of the stock seat. And it's a little tore up over here. But for the most part, it's all there, so I could probably just put a cover over it if I want to be cheap about it. Yeah, this is all just a leather cover. As you can see the factory blue underneath here. So there's the factory seat right there. It does feel pretty brittle, but I could probably just put a cover over it and call it a day. See if I can pull all this stuff off the top of the seat. This is the factory seat here, and it's gone. Kind of hard to see with the light glare in the window. Yeah, this one's trashed. It just falls apart super easy. I wonder if this back seat is bolted in or if it's just gonna fall out too. It looks like it's just gonna fall out as well. How does this come apart here? It looks like it's supposed to hook around this, but I'm not sure how to get it off that hook without bending it and probably breaking it. I don't want to do that. There we go. Without it completely falling apart. All right. A bunch of junk in here from the seat. This thing's got a lot of room in here. See if we can get into the passenger side over here and pull the carpet out all the way. See if I can set this camera down somewhere. There's a big old hole in the floor. There's a big old hole. Anybody want some rust flakes? That's crazy. But then again, everything up high, it's pretty solid. Rocker's a little soft on this side. It's just the main floor, it's gone. First I gotta find out where the bolts are. Probably behind this trim, I'm guessing. Yep. Let's see. Oh, they're just right inside there, underneath. And the seat is on sliders, so it does slide forward and back, which is nice to know. Not bad, not bad. Let me see if I can get this trim off of here, or see if I can get to the bolts without pulling the trim off. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the car outside, so I have more room to work around it, and I'm not just making a huge mess in the shop. Alright, let's go ahead and see if we can get these screws off this trim here. One more back here. Alright, go get the other side. Holding a camera and trying to work at the same time makes it interesting. You don't realize how much you rely on both your hands to do stuff that seems like it'd be a one-handed job until you try to hold a camera. One more on the little lever here. Set all this stuff down. I don't want to lose none of it. Looks like something else back here is holding it. Oh, there's a screw underneath, inside there. There we go. Now it'll come out of there. Let's see if this trim will come out of here. Looks like it's got to go back through the backside. And there's our bolts down there. Alright, let's see if we can get these bolts loose. I sprayed them down, WD. Oh, it's actually already kind of loose. Try this back one here. Set this camera down real quick. There we go. Seats out. Now we can see that floor in here. Alright, I'm gonna go to town with the vacuum here. Just get most of this stuff out of here and clean it up a bit. Well, it's about as good as it's gonna get. I used a hammer and a little chisel to try to break some of the sound deadening off and whatnot. But you can see some rust pretty much everywhere. Over here on the edge of the rocker. And back here, that's a panel that someone already put in. You can see it's welded right here. So someone's already been in here messing around with these floors. But what I'm gonna do is just buy new panels for up here. They sell this piece and this piece separate. Then each corner they sell. And I'm hoping they go up high enough and far enough over to cover all the rust spots I have, like here and whatnot. But if it doesn't cover it, I'll just make my own little pieces and put in there. The worst one is definitely this passenger front here. It's gone. You can see the muffler right under there. And then the body mount right here is gone. This piece right here is actually part of the frame. And this is the bolt that holds the body to the frame. So I'm about to get that bolt out of there, and when I put this new panel back on, figure out a way to get a bolt in there, which I might actually just cut this bolt off, use that hole that's next to it, and just bolt it that way. But we'll deal with that when we get there. The rust kind of stops right here, so hopefully the panels, when I buy them, they go up a bit and not just flat. I haven't really looked too much into it, but I did verify they're still available and I'm able to get them, so that's a plus. And the rear deck back here doesn't look too bad. There's not really any rot on it, just surface rust. And the seals are pulling off of the window there. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I did do some research and I can't find window seals for the back window or the windshield, but I can find it for the side windows. So I'm hoping just some regular universal stuff will work. And it looks like someone siliconed this window in here before. And it looks like there might be a little bit of rot starting right on top of the window. So hopefully I can get that all figured out and dealt with before it gets too bad. And I don't want this window blowing out on me when I'm trying to drive. I was looking around under here, and I don't know what this is right here or what it does. It looks like it says Mallory on it right inside there, but I have no idea if it's some type of timing adjust or something crazy. I don't know. So if anybody knows what it is, please let me know, because I've never seen anything like it. Got my new custom bucket seat here. I'm gonna set this in here and try to drive the car back into the shop before it gets too dark out here. Oh yeah! Brakes don't work that great. Wasn't trying to go that far. That's a nice seat there. That'll get the job done. Forget putting a new seat in there and all that. That works. Forgot to open up the trunk and get everything out of here, so let's do that now. All kinds of goodies in here. Alright, back out here working on the Plymouth today. I'm gonna finish cleaning out the rest of this junk in the trunk here and throw it away, and then put the car up on the lift and pull the fuel tank out so I can take that with me tomorrow to work and drop it off at the shop to get the fuel tank cleaned and resealed if it's got any holes or cracks or whatever. So I'm gonna set this camera over here and just get to work cleaning. It's a window crank and a door handle. Those are definitely not trash. Keeping those. rope. Alright, got the trunk all vacuumed out. Pretty rusty in here. Some rot down here on the spare tire well. This up here is starting to rot a little bit, but it's not terrible. It's still pretty strong. So I think like a quick wire wheel and maybe some coating on it, it'll be okay. I don't want to have to just replace floors in the trunk. So this, I might be able to patch this with just sheet metal, just something basic, and then coat it, because I don't believe I can get that piece or the trunk panels online. I don't really want to have to make them myself, so I'm just going to go the easy route and patch what I need to patch. Scoot this thing forward so I can throw it on the rack. Can't go too high or the garage door is gonna hit. I'm gonna clean the floor real quick so I can get down there and not be covered in rust. Grab my flashlight here. We'll get under there and see what these bolts look like for the fuel tank. So we got the straps that go up, and yeah, there's a stud on it. And this other side, I can't really tell. They're on top of the tank. So I might be able to just do the other two and it'll come down. But I need to drain this thing. So let me see if I have a bit like that size. I think a 1/2 inch square will fit in there. It looks like a star pattern. Not like a Torx bit, but like a 12 point. Let me see if a 1/2 inch square will fit. Let's see. There you go. See if this will fit in there. We can drain this fuel. Hopefully it's not too full. Okay, 1/2 inch. Yep. I also don't want to break the fuel tank trying to do this, because it might be super rusty. Oh, came loose. Alright, I need to go grab a tray to drain it. Hopefully this 10-gallon tray here is enough. That smells like some good gas. It smells like paint. I'd like to get it lower, but I don't want to freaking ruin my gloves. Doesn't come any looser than that. So I'm gonna lower the car down and let it drain, not splash everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna let that keep draining. It's gonna be pretty slow because I can't get the valve open anymore. So I'll just let it drip for a while and come back to it when it's done. This panel here that covers the filler neck hose looks like it's spot welded around there and has a bunch of like seam sealer or silicone or whatnot on there. So I don't know how I'm gonna get to it. Maybe from below here. Yeah, it's spot welded, but I can just disconnect the hose right there and then just leave the filler neck in the car and just have a disconnect right here. And it looks like there's a breather hose that just goes up there and dumps right there. Our fuel tank is just about done draining. It's dripping real slow now. Get the fuel line sprayed, let that soak a bit. Get this hose clamp up here sprayed, let it soak. Well, I don't have a 1/2 inch line wrench, so hopefully this wrench can get it without stripping it. There we go, came loose. It's always a good sign. Got a bunch more fuel coming out of there now. There we go. Now we got the filler neck up here. Get that loose. Got the plastic tub under there to try to set the gas tank on when I unbolt it. So I can unbolt the straps and then just lift the car off of the fuel tank and see if it'll stay down on the tub. Don't know how well this is gonna work, but we're gonna give it a shot. It's a funky looking mount there. Won't come off any farther than that. Not with that. Well, it looks like that hanger broke. This other one's unbolted, but the fuel tank won't come down still. So let me try to pull on it a little bit. It might just be holding up by this filler neck. Not quite sure. Yeah, I think it's just a filler neck holding it. And you get a pry bar on there. There we go. Might have to get some new hangers or build some new ones because that one broke, that one's all twisted. Let's see if we can pull this thing out of here. I'll have to raise the car up a little bit. Okay. Fuel tank is free. It actually looks fairly decent in there. It's hard to see on camera. So I'm gonna try to just clean it and just do it myself and fill it up all the way and see if it leaks anywhere before I take it to a shop and have them do it and before I spend a bunch of money on it. So I'm just gonna take this out back and wash it off and fill it up with water and see if it leaks out or not. Okay, this thing is surprisingly very light, even though it still has a little bit of fuel in it. Get this out back on the pad and spray it off. Still a good amount of chunks coming out of there. But for the most part, it's all rinsed out. I did a quick search online because I was curious what it would cost me to just get a brand new tank. And it looks like the cheapest I can get will be like $400. And that doesn't come with the sending unit. So on the sending unit's another $100. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to save this one and just clean it up, probably paint it, and then see if the sending unit works. If it does, I'll run it with a new seal. If it doesn't work, which it probably doesn't, I'll replace it. So that's $100. But I'm gonna try to not take this to the radiator shop and have it done, because that's 150 bucks. But if it needs it and it leaks, then I will. Alright, got it all washed out. I'm gonna spray some WD-40 on these two parts here so they can soak. And then I'm gonna put some Simple Green in the tank to try to help clean it out a little bit. And then I'm gonna put some water in to dilute it a little bit. Pretty much just gonna fill it until it starts coming out of the hole over here for the gas line. So I got the tank full pretty much all the way up to here with water, and I can't get anything to come out of the little fuel line petcock or whatever you call it. I tried shoving a copper wire in there, use my air compressor and blow air in it, but nothing will come out. So I may need to look into getting that new fuel tank if I can't get this pipe cleared. But I'm not sure what it looks like in there, how far it goes, or what the deal is. I'm gonna try some brake cleaning and hopefully that'll eat out whatever's in there. Let's try some brake clean in there. That nasty stuff coming out. Strange. I can take this long bendy magnet and it'll go in there all the way in. Still nothing comes out. Like, that's got to be far enough in there. There's no way that pipe goes all the way across the fuel tank or something. We're getting a little more coming out, it looks like. Just barely dribbling out of there. Okay, I found an old antenna of a car. See if that'll get in there. Goes pretty far in there. I'm gonna grab a hammer and try to tap it in there more. We're getting something now. And now it's stuck again. Flowing out of there, but not nearly as much as it should be. Try to put air in there again. And blew through there. It wasn't blowing through before. You can see the whole tank moving. Dribbling out of there slowly. That may be as good as it's gonna flow, I guess, because the air went in there and it should be clear now. But that's all we're gonna get out of it. See, it's pushing it out the other way. Probably as good as it's gonna get for now. I'm gonna put some more simple green in it, let it soak overnight, and then do some research, see if I can find another tank or not, and determine if I'm gonna get this one fixed and cleaned up or just buy a brand new one. Well, that's pretty much gonna conclude this video. Pretty much out of time because I want to post it this week, so got a good amount done. Got the interior cleaned out and trunk cleaned out and fuel tank out, so it's a good amount of work for just 2 days in the shop this week. Don't forget to check out merchandise on my website, kspeedshop.com. I got a new t-shirt out, a couple different stickers that are out now, so those are on there. Thank you guys for all the support and all the comments and all the kind words some of you guys have, so thank you. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next week.